welcome back to Overlord anime review special number 3. Yes, I looked it up. It has been over almost 2 years since I did a video for this series. Now you're probably thinking, why would I take so long to basically do? Because I was reading the book. Basically, I'm reviewing it now, but I got partway through it and then I just forgot about it for over a year, and then I realized, though, as I got my job, oh yeah, I can actually, purchase this book, because this is a physical copy, and believe it or not, this book came out roughly about 2 months ago. This is basically reviewing Book 12 of Overlord, the Paladin of the Sacred Kingdom Part 1. Yes, written by the writer of the series, Kugan Marama, and the art and the illustration by Soban. Yes, one thing I at least got praise about Soban is these painted illustrations. Yes, this is by far the only light novel series I've come across where it feels like they have a painted art style. Heck, even the interiors, which have pictures in it, they're painted. A lot of the time, almost all the books I've previously read have been black and white. And this basically is in color. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, who the heck is that on the cover? That's Demiurge, believe it or not. Yep, despite being the cover, doesn't get a lot of focus in this book. The answer, no. He appears briefly for 2 times for a couple cameos. And that's it. Albedo herself also is treated the same way in this book, where she appears briefly in 1 chapter. This book only has got 3 chapters, believe it or not. Yeah. 3 chapters for a 266-page book, where she appears briefly when they introduce her, and then after that, she's never seen again until the epilogue of the book. Yep, the book is heavily focused on, not on Ainz. Oh no, he doesn't appear until toward the end of chapter 1 of this book. Yeah, he's not the focus of this book. It's basically, the Sacred Kingdom. Also, they change the name in this book. Now, if I remember, basically, Ainz's kingdom is known as the Sorcerer Kingdom. For some reason, here they refer to it as the Nation of Darkness. And Ainz is referred to as the King of Darkness, which, I'm like, okay, why the heck would they change the name of the country for after they took over? They do mention the events what happened in Book 9, which that is appreciated. They also reference what happened in the last book when they met dwarves, which that's also good. The fact the writer managed to reference two events. And Ainz, despite the fact being the main character of the franchise, in here he's just a supporting character. Yep, he's basically just following around these new characters. By the way, they even have detailed, basically, pictures of these brand new characters. Oh, and by the way, in case you're curious though, do any of the Floor Guardians actually make appearance besides from Albedo and Demiurge? The answer, no. None of them do. Not even the combat mates. It's like, okay, now here are the new characters. You have basically a few new characters who appear in this book. First, you have Nia Badra. That's what the character looks like. Yeah, she's a new character. Yeah, she's basically a page who, when she basically meets Ainz, she basically makes a request, even though she's out of turn. And he basically appreciates the fact that she's an honest person, and she becomes basically his subordinate, basically his assistant throughout the rest of the book, not long after her introduction to him. This is another character who's a general focus character in the book. This is Remedios Carcedo. Yeah, she is the one leading the party. We also have Kalista Besra, who doesn't really appear very much in the book. And of course, we also have Basser, who was basically the Breaker King. He's a subhuman. Yep. Now, the thing with this particular book is that we introduce the main villain of the story. This is quite interesting. Okay, we have this Demon King named Jakrum. That's really the guy's name. He and 2 of his maids just happened to come in the country, the Sacred Kingdom. And then later on, him and his troops invade the southern part of the country. Yep, so they request assistance. So the first to go to Riaz's kingdom. Yeah, they appear briefly in this book. Wow. They appear in here for like less than 5 pages, and then like, okay, let's go to Nation of Darkness. And I gotta show off this color page here. Like, here's Ainz in combat. Yeah, this is how Soban draws him in here. Great cover image. And this is also taken from the book as well. This does happen, yes. Let's see if I can show it off here. Let's see here. Where you have this happen. Yeah, this is such a great color image. Yep, and that's Albedo. Yep. Now, one thing at least also that was really cool about this book is the chapters they have in here. Yeah, they all start off with these like color images. Yes, these painted color images. Like, here's the one for chapter 1. And for now for the other ones they show off in here. Yeah, and also, believe it or not, guess who also make it like here's the Demon King. Yeah, that's what the guy looks like. Yeah, he's this big hulking guy. Let's see if I can show another one here. Yeah, let's see here. Here we go. Here's the Blue Roses. Yep, they make a brief cameo in this book. And yes, that is Evil Eye. She appears for a handful of pages. Oh yeah, and she still has a thing for Momon. Yep, she still does. Yeah, it's kind of interesting though. They bring back Evil Eye. First time since, I think, like, book 9. It's been a while since she last appeared in the series. And here she's here just for a brief cameo, which I'm like, really? Why would you bring her back for a brief cameo? That makes no freaking sense at all. Now, let me show up chapter 2, because this is something that's mentioned a little bit later in the book. Because when the party from the Sacred King first arrive in Nation of Darkness, they come across this. A 300-foot statue of Ainz all gold. Yes, this does happen in the book. And great image by Soban. Yeah, this is so good. Yep. Now, when they go to the Sacred Kingdom, now, first they have to keep all the swords in their sheaths. Otherwise, though, drawing your swords is considered a crime. As long as you do anything, the undead won't harm you, as long as you keep your swords sheathed. Okay, perfectly fine. And first-time visitors to the Nation of Darkness have to go through a lecture. Yep, a lecture, which, that's interesting. Okay, so after going to the lecture, they give like a brief description, basically the fact that, despite the fact the country is ruled by an undead king, he's not a tyrant. Oh no, he's basically a person loved by everybody, not only by humans, but also by demi-humans. Yeah, that's quite interesting though, the fact that he rules as a just king. He's basically, yes, the undead soldiers are basically his enforcers, but they are basically ordered not to harm any humans. Which, that's interesting. And then with Ainz, in the throne room, if you watch the anime, like in the final episode, they show off his throne room, which they go there, and it's like this big grand throne. Which, by the way, they actually brought this throne from the Tomb of Nazarick. Oh, in case you're curious though, like, they briefly mentioned the Tomb of Nazarick, does not make a physical appearance at all. As a matter of fact, the tomb does not make a physical appearance in the books, not since book 9. Yeah, that was the last time officially, in that what I read anyways, that they actually appearance by the actual tomb. Because the tomb itself, like, it seems as though the tomb plays very little role in the actual books themselves, because, well, Ainz has got his own country, so why live in the tomb? Oh, and I should point out that the country's flag of the, basically, the Sorcerer Kingdom / Nation of Darkness is his guild flag. Yeah, that's the flag for the country, is the guild flag, which, cool. I mean, he has it there. Why not use it? Yep. I like the fact we have a little bit development for Nina, who's the page in here, because she gets to interact with now Momon, yes, Ainz is Alias. He briefly appears in the book. Like, he appears for like half a chapter, and then he disappears. He's mentioned several times after this, but he doesn't do anything. Nope. So they quest their aid, but then of course Ainz is curious though about the Sacred Kingdom, so he just basically goes himself. And I'm probably thinking, wait, he doesn't bring any of his floor guardians with him. He doesn't bring any of his... I get maybe not bring undead soldiers with him, fine. But He could have brought maybe one of his combat mains with him, or his floor guardians. Nope, none of them appear in here. They don't really do anything. And of course, Albedo basically does mention the fact that her position as captain of the floor guardians is very much the equivalent of being the prime minister. They mentioned this back in book 10. Yes, they bring this up. Now, the thing is, Albedo didn't really do much anything in the last book. She appeared for like 2 chapters in book 10, that she doesn't do anything after that. It's almost like the rate of the series has kind of reduced the role of the Floor Guardians a little bit while trying to develop the world of Overlord, which, okay, fine. As long as it's a feat doing something, it'd be fine with me. Excuse me. So they go and of course they also know that a lot of the royal family in the Second Kingdom was either killed or taken prisoner and put in these prison camps. They do, in fact, Ainz does go with them, and they do liberate one of the camps, and they also take down a fortress, which apparently the Sacred Kingdom basically has got angels working with them, which I'm like, that's cool. And they do depict in here, like an actual assault on the fortress, which is quite nice. And Ainz does help out, but he wants to keep some of his magic in reserve, just so he can take on the evil king himself. Which, that's kind of a strange thing about this book. The main villain appears like partway through chapter 1. There's several mentions of him after this. But after that, he doesn't much of anything. I like the fact that they basically progress the story really well in here. And the thing ends basically with accomplishing part of their goal, but there's still going to be something happening in the next book. And it seems as though also Ainz gives Nija basically a very special bow, which he says is made from ancient runes. Actually, it's made from technology from Yggdrasil, which is the first time that the game which Ainz basically was known for playing, this is the first time it's actually been mentioned in quite some time in the books. I would say this is the first time since like the first book of the series. Or at least maybe book 7, because they don't really bring up the game at all. Mostly just develop the world of Overlord, which that's good. This book overall is awesome. Give this book roughly a 9.5 out of 10. If this was adapted for the anime, which there has been basically like a big demand for season 4 for Overlord. If this was adapted, I would say this could take up, like, even though yes, there's 3 chapters in here, but I'm thinking, wait, could it easily take up about 3 episodes? I don't think it should. I think it should be about 4, maybe about 6 episodes for this book to be a good adaptation. Yep, but it's a damn good book. And I do recommend people are fans of Overlord. Oh, if you're curious though, how much does Yen Press charge this book? $20! I got this book for $18 off of Amazon. Yeah. Now, the thing is for this particular book, now unlike other books they put out, which are basically $14, like, take this for example, Death March Pillar Rhapsody. This is $14. Compared to this book, which is freaking $20. Yeah, I'm not really sure why Overlord gets charged so much. Maybe because it's a hardcover, or the fact the book is kind of thick. I mean, I've come across thicker books than this. I mean, heck, the book almost as thick as this I've come across as books for the series Is Wrong Term Girls Dungeon. At least those books are $14. And heck, their longest book, book 14, that's $15. This is $5 more. So is it worth paying the price for it? Yes. Yes, because these books are so damn good. It's a pure enjoyment to read these books, and well, if you love the anime, like, even if you had basically just wanted to pick up where the anime left off, there's not many books that have been English release-wise. Yes. For some reason, despite the fact that this book series has had officially 14 books released in Japan, this is the most recent book released. And this came out just back, I think it was like in July. Yeah, it came out in July of all things. And I looked up online. There is no release date yet for book 13. Which, that's quite odd. I'm thinking though, why in the world would basically do we not be release date for book 13. Even this released in Japan for a while now. And I looked how many pages there is for book 14. 14 is over 400 pages. Damn, it's a real lengthy book. You get a lot of tagline back in the book. The world is yours. You can't really... Let me show it close to the... Yeah, that's the line in the back of the book. Yep. But if you love the anime, try out the light novels. They're good. Even though the anime does basically cut out some stuff with light novels, from what I can tell, for the first 6 books, they did a really good job adapting them. They did basically move around stuff. Book 7, when they adapt that for the middle portion of season 3. They did book 8 first, then book 7, then book 9. But what they adapted for, they did a really good job for. Okay, so that's it for Stickler. It's probably gonna be it for videos today. So yes, I still plan to do my review for the next step episodes of One Piece, and of course Goblin Slayer. That probably won't happen until tomorrow. So until you see you all tomorrow for my next videos, bye.